May not be cheating, but there are players who step over that line in other ways. Dustin Marks is a former blackjack cheater who was never caught.
Well, the reason I started playing blackjack, I'd been manipulating cards since I was 7 as a part-time magician. So the game naturally appealed to me and fascinated me. I started just like everybody else, learning basic strategy, and then went to card counting. But then I started wondering there must be a better way to gain an edge over the house.
The edge he found was an illegal one: cheating.
I worked a lot of different ways. You can work with a dealer, that's called inside, working with help, or you can work the outside, working without the dealer. It would just depend on the conditions and the type of play.
When he worked inside, a dealer might unobtrusively show Marks one of his cards or signal what he had. He might even shuffle the deck so that the cards were stacked in Marks' favor.
It's easier with a dealer, but then again, of course, the money gets chopped 2 ways, and you have to have a proficient dealer.
Working outside or alone was harder but paid bigger dividends. We asked Marks to show us the secrets he used when he worked without a dealer's help. The demonstration begins with marking cards.
There's hundreds of ways to mark cards. Some of the best ways is where you don't physically do anything to the cards that would leave a mark. Just the simple action of turning over a blackjack. You look at these cards now, they have a little bend to them. Cheaters can read these cards when they're under the dealer's hole card to determine if the dealer has a good hand.
Sometimes he would actually switch cards, slipping better ones into his hand.
Here's a way of switching cards. I'm dealt a 16, one of the worst hands in blackjack. As I go to tuck my cards, I take a drink, but now I have a 20.
How'd he do it? By palming a card.
The bad card is towards me. Now, as I come over, I'm going to take the good card, place it in front, and then do a palm and just slide out the bad card, leaving me with a 20.
Marks was so good, he didn't just manipulate the cards, he could do miracles with the chips, too.
One of the most common methods of cheating is adding to your bet, called pressing your bet. Here I'm going to bet 4 chips. If these are green chips, they're $25 chips. Now, if the cheater gets a good hand, he'd go tuck his cards and pull them back out and say to a player, hey, I finally got a 20, a good hand, and retuck his cards. What has happened, though, is I've actually now bet 5 checks. I added a check to the bottom of my cards.
Are Marks' hands too fast for your eyes? Don't feel bad. Many a professional dealer has fallen for the same trick. But what happens if the cheater isn't holding a good hand?
Again, I'm going to bet 4 chips. And this time, I don't get a good hand. I get a 16. As I go to tuck, I decide to take another look and then retuck my cards. Now, I only have 3 checks bet. So I've actually saved $25 if these are $25 chips.
Do you need to see it again? What he did as he pulled his cards away was grab the bottom chip and drag it back to his pile. Pit bosses are supposed to catch cheaters, but Marks says outwitting them was just part of the game.
The pit boss has anywhere from 4 to 6 games to watch. And then let's say there's 4 people on each game. That's anywhere from 16 to 20 people. As you can see, the games are not all on a line, so his back is going to be to some of the games all the time. So it's virtually impossible for a boss to watch. The only reason he's going to watch it is if you give him a reason. And if you don't give him a reason, he's not going to watch it.
Marks, who's written 2 books about his techniques, claims he's retired from cheating and blackjack. But he didn't walk away empty-handed.
As far as how much I made, I just keep quiet. It was just a lot of money.
But here's a tip for you just in case